WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Good evening, I'm Tommy Lopez. We start with the destruction in one area town of a popular gathering place. It's been about a week now since Winona's Public Park Pavilion burned to the ground. The pavilion, a fire destroyed it last Saturday morning. All that remains now is that slab of cement. That's where the pavilion once sat. After an investigation, police are now saying that it was arson. An investigation continues. More officers have also been assigned to guard the area.
We've made a lot of things as far as precautionary wise, as far as to stop people from going out there and doing stuff like this since this has happened. If you have any information, feel free to just contact the police department, and we'll take the information. We're not going to say we'll give your name out. We just want the information.
Winona Mayor Jerry Flowers says that they're going to rebuild that pavilion and put in more benches for families. Tupelo police are looking for people involved in a shooting Thursday night. It was near the Cracker Barrel restaurant. Police say someone tried to break up an argument. That's when someone involved in that argument shot at them. No one was hit from all of that. The man and the woman who were arguing left the scene before police arrived. This was around 7 o'clock. Tupelo police are asking anyone with any information to give them a call. And Tupelo police are going to host a grand opening for their new headquarters. It's going to be in about 10 days, February 27th. It's a 34,000 square foot facility there, going to include an armory, exercise room, a crime lab, evidence storage area. There were some delays in opening this. It's a state-of-the-art facility. Those delays included a malfunction in a fire sprinkler system. The event is going to be open to the public. Vardaman City Hall, Vardaman Police, and the fire department there, they all have new addresses. The city has moved all three operations under one roof. The consolidation is in that building across from Old City Hall. Old City Hall is still on the market. The fire department and police headquarters, though, they've sold those. Profits from the sales are going towards renovations on the new space. Workers at West Point's Navistar plant, they're going to be busy at least till next year. The plant has won a multi-million-dollar contract overseas. Navistar International will deliver 40 armored vehicles to Pakistan. It's a contract worth $35 million. The U.S. Army announced the deal Thursday. Factory workers in West Point and in Pakistan are going to build mine-resistant, ambush-protected trucks. In 2013, the plant laid off all of its workers. It's hired several hundred workers since then. To our weather tonight, and Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Keith, it's going to be a warm couple of days.
It is going to be warm all weekend long, and in the near term, we are going to be looking at a chance for a few showers around here. I say a chance because right now with our live Doppler radar, we have nothing going on locally. We've got temperatures in the 50s, showers off to our south. It's a wet night down there along the Gulf Coast. But for us locally, we're looking at a lot of that moisture pinwheeling back to our east and southeast, but can't rule out a few showers later tonight or even tomorrow. Your forecast for tonight about 48, but I think we're in the 60s tomorrow, well into the 70s on Sunday. Tommy, your full forecast in just a few minutes.
All right, Keith, thank you. Students at Island Middle School are celebrating Black History Month through song and dance. The program today featured music from the school choir and dances to praise and hip-hop music. The keynote speaker was Reuben Johnson, Jr. The Ole Miss senior encouraged the students to always do their best, never give up.
I hope that they just take away the fact that they can design where they want their destiny to begin and end, and that if they have faith in themselves, they can make it as far as they want to go.
Johnson's a graduate of the Mississippi School for Mathematics and Science. On the MUW campus, it's a battle to see who's smarter. High school students from across the state are facing off in the annual Regional Science Bowl. The teams are being tested on their knowledge of math, chemistry, physics, some other science subjects. The winner of that regional competition is going to receive a free trip to Washington, D.C. They'll be able to compete in the National Science Bowl. Teachers of gifted students are often looking for innovative methods to challenge students in their classes. Teachers from across the state gathered at MUW today. It was for a special forum. They were discussing new strategies for teaching. The professional development was focused on the theme, play it, make it, build it.
One of the challenges in education is that teachers get opportunities to collaborate with one another, but not often gifted teachers, and so this gives them that opportunity to interact with other teachers to talk about gifted education.
About 70 teachers participated in that forum.
Here's our Columbus planner for tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock. A lot of cloud cover. Can't rule out a few showers around initially during the first half of the day, but as we get on in our Saturday afternoon, I think we'll see more and more breaks. Temperatures back up into the upper 60s, well into the 70s for Sunday and Monday, or after the break.
Your first alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
Well, look at this. Flooding in Los Angeles, California earlier today. This is still ongoing right now. Interstate 5 right there in Los Angeles. And you know what? When it floods in Los Angeles, let's get the surfboard and go surfing down the street. Yes, an unusual sight with all that rain in Los Angeles, but at least they're making use of it, I guess, in some instances. But it's a dangerous situation out there. Heavy rain continues there from San Diego to Los Angeles right now. In some spots, estimated to have received thus far up to about 7 inches of rain. This is just Southern California. It's been the same story in Central and Northern California as well. Now, this evening here in Columbus and North Mississippi and West Alabama, we've had those clouds roll on in. But it's been a pretty, mild night for winter, mild evening, a pretty quiet one out there. You can see some traffic moving through downtown, so there's been no issues whatsoever here locally, and that's going to be the way, I think, for the most part this weekend. Now, we will have a chance for some of these showers to pivot back to the northeast later tonight and tomorrow morning. It's just not looking like we're going to see a lot of that good beneficial moisture like they're seeing in central and southern Mississippi and Alabama right now. So here's our planner for Saturday. We started out with a lot of cloud cover. We're in the 50s, likely breaking up some of those clouds back into the mid to upper 60s tomorrow afternoon. Cooler if you stay with the clouds all day long. If you see some sunshine, back up to around 70. Here's Futurecast picking up on those high clouds now, but as I just alluded to, there will be a chance for some of those showers to pivot back to the northeast later tonight and tomorrow morning. I think by the afternoon, though, a lot of those clouds will start to thin out a little bit, and then we'll see a lot more sunshine as we get into your Sunday, with temperatures climbing well into the mid to upper 70s. This is Sunday here, folks, as we close the weekend. Bright sunshine, or at least partly cloudy conditions, warm temperatures, and that will continue into the early part of the work week. Really, the warm temperatures will continue for the next 7 days. Temperatures right now into the mid to upper 50s around the region, much warmer right now than we were 24 hours ago. And this weather pattern is really going to stay with us for the rest of the work week. No signs of any Canadian air anytime soon. So once again, tomorrow, 68 degrees. There could be a stray shower possible out there, but for the most part, a lot of that good moisture is going to be staying away. Can't rule it out, though, so just see how it plays out. Well into the 70s early next week. Our next best chance for rain will be on Tuesday, and then more 70s after that.
Super warm. Looking like all next week, just unrelenting. Lows aren't even really going to get
now. Don't write off winter just yet,
right?
Because
Not
we're
done,
still in the middle of winter. But this week, forget about it.
Allegedly, we're still in the middle of winter.
I know, right?
We forget.
Some spots will be approaching 80 Sunday and Monday.
All right, Keith, thank you very much. We are very glad to hear about the health of one of the members of our WCBI family. Coming up next, the story of what was a frightening night for the Gamble family. That's next.
You're watching WCDI News at 10 with Tommy Lopez.
Her heart stops. It was a scary, scary night for a member of our WCBI family. Our anchor, Bill Gamble, and his wife, Susan, they had just arrived at a wedding reception when she suffered a heart attack. That was just a few weeks ago. She wrapped up rehab today. So February is Heart Month. It's a good time to share Susan's story and some reminders that we should listen to our bodies. Here's our Victoria Bailey.
I mean, when she first went down, of course, I called her halfway down and laid her on the floor. And unfortunately, there was a doctor standing right beside me, and he started working on her immediately.
Susan and Bill both called that quick work divine intervention, and it likely saved her life. But the danger had started long before that night.
I was suffering from what I thought was just a really bad case of indigestion every day. And my esophagus area felt like I had indigestion, and even my arm hurt a little bit. I treated it for indigestion, actually, and realized that I did need to see a doctor, but I was going to wait till the next week, and so I just waited a little too long.
Susan's heart had stopped.
I was sitting in the cab of the ambulance, and they started hauling her, putting her in the back of the ambulance, And I heard one of the doctors say, we lost her pulse, she's not breathing. That's when I went from praying to begging, and apparently God answers begging too.
She coded that night, and doctors eventually put her on a ventilator. Miraculously, the next morning, she was breathing on her own and well on her way to recovery. Elizabeth Varco sees patients, particularly women in the OCH rehab facility, every day with similar stories.
Women don't always have the same classical symptoms. Sometimes women will have discomfort in the back. They can have upper abdominal pain. They complain more of shortness of breath or difficulty doing their usual activities.
Varco says both men and women are susceptible to heart disease, but taking preventative measures is key.
Exercising, eating a healthy diet, watching their cholesterol, getting their blood pressure checked by the physician, decreasing stress, watching our body weight are all risk factors that promote heart disease.
For Susan and other cardiac patients, a big part of recovery includes rehab.
It's an exercise program, but we monitor the patient's EKG as they're exercising. We monitor their blood pressure, but we're also an education program. We talk a lot about risk factors for heart disease.
Susan says the most important lesson she's learned is that no one is safe from a heart attack.
Just be proactive and see a doctor. It's better to be safe than sorry. I wish I had done that.
Victoria, thank you. And Varco emphasized that for men, symptoms of a heart attack can range from chest pains to discomfort that can radiate from the jaw, upper shoulders, and down the left arm as well. High school hoops division championship games tonight. Also the opening day of college baseball. We have all the highlights coming up next in sports.
Here's WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe.
Baseball is back, and tonight had an NCAA regional feel with the big-time matchups. And it's February, so expect it to be a wild and exciting season on the diamond here in the Magnolia State. We start in Starkville, opening day at Dudy Noble in front of the new big Jumbotron in right field. MSU taking on 19th-ranked Texas Tech. First pitch of the game. We're ready to roll. Red Raiders would strike, though, in the first. Red Raiders would strike first. In the second, Connor Pilkington on the mound. That's Michael Berglund slapping one down the first base line, scoring Zach Reams. 1-0 lead for the Red Raiders. But here comes MSU. There's Belmont's Luke Alexander ripping one down the left field line. Jake Mangum going to come on home. Tie ball game after 3. But that tie ball game would not last long. In the fourth, the Red Raiders would hang a crooked number. Here's Josh Lung going oppo. Launched one off the wall in right. That would bring home 2. The Red Raiders would put up 4 in the top of the fourth. So they would lead 5-1. Now Pilkington comes out. It's 5-2. It would end up getting to 5-2 in the bottom of the ninth. Here's Jake Mangum. Just a little blooper over the third baseman. That would load the bases in the ninth. But Ryan Gridley strikes out swinging with the bases loaded. They actually loaded the bases up in the 8th as well. So you leave 6 runners on. MSU falls in their first game of the year, 5-2 to Texas Tech. They'll be back in action tomorrow afternoon against Western Illinois. Over to Swayze we go. Ole Miss hosting a big series against top 10 foe East Carolina. Not exactly the best start. The first batter of the season, that's DeWanya Sutton-Williams off of David Parkinson. Solo shot, first batter of the year. Pirates lead 1-0. But it would be okay because New Hope's Will Golson comes to the rescue. His first swing of the year goes down and gets it. A solo bomb to left. Rebels go up 2-1. And in the fourth, We're tied at 3. Speaking of area guys, here's Oxford Charger Thomas Dillard, one of the fab freshmen with the Rebels. This one's going down the left field line. It's a fair ball. That would score Will Golson rounding third with a purpose. Ole Miss would go up 4-3. They would lead 5-3 heading into the ninth. Now, Will Stokes had to sweat it out. He gave up a solo homer with 2 outs, but he would preserve the win as he gets the save. Ole Miss starts the season with a 5-4 win. Game 2 is tomorrow at 1:30 at Swayze. All right, high school hoops division championships tonight. We start at Columbus. Tupelo and Columbus on the boys' side first. What a basketball game. Jet Johnson inside starting things off for 2, the famous Jet Johnson. 2-0 lead for the Golden Wave. Columbus would answer, though. Robert Woodard getting the loose ball. How about that nifty pass? Javoris Frazier, basket +1. This one went back and forth early on. More from them blankets. Jet Johnson going to find Jalen Copeland, corner 3. You bet. Tupelo goes in front, but in the first, Vijay Harris going to miss this, but watch Woodard flying through for the 2-hand throwdown. It was Tupelo, though. That's your division champs as they defeat Columbus 66-57. How about the ladies? Tupelo and Columbus going at it. We go to the right to the fourth quarter. Columbus trailed for most of this game, but here comes the comeback. Kaylin Wilson driving, finding Zaria Jenkins for 2. Cuts the lead to single digits. First time that happened since the first quarter. Later on, Tupelo, though, the pressure forcing the steal. Alara Davis gets it. She finishes, so back up to a double-digit lead. More from the Lady Falcons. Wilson going to get the ball up ahead. Caitlin Weir inside. She's going to get the 2. Columbus got back within 5. But watch this defensive play from Elijah Shear. Stripping and going all the way to the basket for 2. It was Tupelo hanging on for a 66-58 win. So Tupelo, your Region 2 6A district champs on the boys and the girls side. All right, a 2-5A big matchup. We start with the boys of New Hope. The Trojans, Terriante Thomas facing Oxford and Jarkel Joyner, and what a start for Thomas. Kid was on fire from the land of plenty. You get 3 for that shot. That's more than 2. That's a pretty good start for New Hope. And then in transition, watch Terriante pull up on him. TK, give them all 3. An 8-0 lead to start for the Trojans, but back would come Oxford. Terry Williams going to work around the perimeter here, going to hit Drew Bianco in the corner. That 3 is good. Chargers beginning to chip away at that lead, and you can't have an Oxford highlight without Jarkel Joyner. Now, he wasn't, hotbed classic hot, but he still had a good game. Gets the finish there for 2. It would be New Hope's night. Here comes Terriante Thomas for 2 more. New Hope wins it 58-52. They are your division champs from Region 2 5A. And lastly, to the ladies, New Hope in the division title on the girls' side as well, facing West Point. The Green Wave off and rolling in the second half. Great passing here. Amari Hurd inside. She gets the 2. Good start for West Point in the second half. New Hope trailing but not discouraged. Lenoria Abrams off the inbounds play, give-and-go play, finishing for 2. And more from the Lady Trojans. Abrams picking herself up and continuing to fight. She's going to drive here, leaves it for Julia Franks. That's a little pull-up jumper right there, nothing but nylon, but it was too much West Point. Great passing here from the Greenies. This is another one of your give-and-go plays. Jamia Hollings back to Amari Hurd for 2. The give-and-go. West Point, your division champs, as they defeat New Hope 56-40. So congratulations to all of our division champions. Playoffs start next week. We'll run down all of that for you coming up on Monday and throughout the weekend. We'll talk about baseball throughout the weekend, and we also got college hoops, so plenty to talk about. Sit back, relax. We got it all covered for you. That's it for sports. We'll get a last look at your forecast when we come back.
There are plenty of dogs and cats tonight in West Point. Hundreds of people turned out at the Civic. It's the 7th annual wine and beer tasting event, and it supports the West Point Clay County Animal Shelter. The event serves as the shelter's largest fundraiser. It's raised as much as $14,000 in past years. Organizers are hoping to surpass that amount tonight.
The purpose of the fundraiser is to raise money for our no-kill shelter. It costs a lot of money to fund a no-kill shelter because we don't put animals down just because they can't find a home. And that means we have to keep a lot more animals and sustain them for a longer period of time.
For information on how you can help the shelter, you can visit our website, WCBI.com. Keith Gibson, it's going to feel like summer.
It is.
Basically,
it is. Close to summer, considering the time of year. We're looking at some upper 60s tomorrow, assuming we see a little bit of sunshine there, well into the 70s Sunday and Monday. I got some yard work planned this weekend, maybe a backyard barbecue. Hopefully you do.
All kinds of outdoor stuff we can do on Sunday.
That's right.
Keith, thank you very much. Hope you had a great week. Enjoy the weekend. We're back at 6 o'clock tomorrow.